Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. This is episode 90, 90, not 19, 90 of the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon campaign by Richard Barton, using a heavily modified version of the old school Essentials system by Necrotic Gnome. My name is John. I'm your referee for the evening, and tonight we have a full house going around the horn. We have.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm playing Brother Lothar, the 5th level cleric of Odin. I think that's right.
Ooh.
You should know.
Hi, I'm David, and I'm playing Upior, the 5th level magic user.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm playing Wolford Cheek, a 6th level fighter and everybody's favorite face.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and tonight I will be reprising my role of Mortis J. Gobliono. I have been and always shall be your goblin.
Nice. All right. So, we've got a full house back for Arden Vul. I hope everyone enjoyed our little amuse-bouche with Mike in the previous two sessions with featuring the Shadow Dark RPG. A lot of fun. For those of you watching in the future, you didn't even have a break between 89 and 90, so congratulations to you bingers. Okay, so it is the 15th of Gelenios. It is about 9:20 in the morning. We have Upior, Lothar, and Wolford. Upior pops into existence in the midst of a very harrowing time for the party. We also have almost a full complement of retainers. Everyone except for Gangrene, who has been left back in the debauche, but we have Lisbeth, Barrios, the Beastman, Baronwald, our newly proven cleric, and of course, good old Samantha the Red is also with you as well. So there is a large party of 8 adventurers of the AV Club are now in the depths of the Beastman compound, which, thanks to the depredations of...
Oh, no.
Thanks to the depredations...
Mike just vanished.
We'll wait for Mike to come back, but I'm moving on. Thanks to the depredations of Nefrit has been cleared out of Beastmen, and many of those dead Beastmen have newly arisen as varying types of undead. Intent on retrieving a couple of maps, which they were able to do last session, but now their focus is on finding a secret, the Deino's, the mother Deino's secret vault. That adjoins her bedroom. They are plunging eastward into the Beastman compound, making their way through, trying to raise all the undead, R-A-Z-E. And on their way, they passed by what used to be the headquarters of the witch doctors for the Beastmen, and have found that they have risen as ghasts, which are super nasty ghouls. Mort had basically pulled aside what was a tapestry, which allowed you to sort of access that room, and you see 4 blackened husks moving that were sort of tearing at corpses in that room. And when they turn towards you, with their light kind of shining, they're like completely black, like crisp skin, basically. Wet pink mouths that are sort of agape with yellowed teeth. You can't even, they're so burnt that you can't even tell what heads they used to have as beastmen. And they have red eyes that glare at you with absolute hatred and ravenous hunger. So there are 8 of you. The passageway into that room, you're coming from the east into the room to the west, is only 10 feet wide. So there's way too many of you to sort of face these guys in the opening as it is. Beyond, you can see that the room itself is square. It is only 20 by 20, so it's rather cramped. All of the belongings there, at least that you can see in the darkness, are burned, but there may be something salvageable. You're not really sure. And you know from observing this prior to the undead rising that there are arrow slits on all sides of the room as well. So let me just switch over to mirror here so the people at home can see. So you are entering in from the southeastern corner on the eastern wall there. So what would you like to do?
Well, technically, in session 89, I believe Mort and Barrios are actually in that doorway.
Okay,
Mort
so the
pulled
two.
curtain aside with the 2 of them side by side, shields up, kind of thing. And we can, if you guys have a plan, we can back off and do something else, but that's where we're at. Mike.
I think we should try and talk to them. Let's negotiate.
Yeah, so there's no way to close a door. Like there's a tapestry that basically was the only thing sort of blocking sight into that room. So they are coming. They turn towards you. We left it like right there. So I need to know really actually right now. Actually, this is a good time real quick. Upior, give us your spell selection real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have memorized Marionette and Phantom Armor, first level spells, and I have Forget and Levitate for second level slots.
Great. So with that in mind, does anyone declaring spells or spell-like abilities?
Yes, I'm going to declare a turn.
I think
I'm going to declare spellcasting, yes.
Baronwald should declare a turn as well, right?
Okay. And to round it out, Lisbeth will also cast a spell.
Mike, are you running Baronwald?
I've got him on my screen, but if somebody else wants to run him, that's fine. Anybody?
Mike, can you hear me?
Oh, you got him.
Mike got him?
No, I'm touching my nose. One nose
Yeah,
goes.
Okay.
I'll run Baronwald. It's fine.
So Mike is not running a retainer, is that correct?
Yeah, it's hard enough for me to run one character.
Mike, sorry to confuse this. One more level I forgot to ask. You ran Samantha last, correct?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did, Mike.
A long time ago.
You did great. You did great.
You did great. Were there any significant changes to Samantha I should know about? Okay, so I'm just going to run the sheet I have. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. So we have spells declared. Okay, let's roll for initiative, please. I got a 6.
Ted, it's in your face. So
Okay. I also got a 6, John.
Oh, snap. Roll again.
And
got
my
3.
second roll is a 6.
3. It's you guys.
Okay. So Barrios is kind of neat in that he gets a +1 to hit if there's an ally within 10 feet during combat. So I count as an ally. So he is definitely interested in hitting a ghast, as is Mort. So 14. Does a 15 hit a ghast, John?
It does not. Their AC is 16. Also, in it.
Oh, wait. So it is a 16 because I forgot to add my +1 for being an ally. Haha.
Okay, cool.
14 +1 to attack with his strength +1 for an ally is 16. Okay. And that's, yes, the mighty 2 points of damage that he has done. Well done, Barrios.
Okay, so Barrios does 2 points of damage against it. Okay, so it hisses back at you. So waves of carrion stench roll off of these guys as well. So I need both Barrios and Mort to make saves versus poison, please.
Okay. Can Mort do his attack first?
No, actually, I should have done it before.
Should have done it before.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. All right, so Mort rolls a 16, no problem. Barrios, what did you say versus poison?
Yeah, and I may retcon Barrios's thing.
He just exactly made it.
Okay, so
He made it by 2 actually. Looking at the wrong one. Yeah.
Okay, so
we're good.
Cool. So you're able to hold your breath as you sort of wade in. Should mention as well that I was wrong. It's not actually dark in there. It appears that there is continual light that was cast on a rock that is sitting on a table, which is one of the very few pieces of furniture that remains relatively intact in the room. But you can see because of that continual light behind you that the sumptuous decorations in the room have all been scorched and marred due to the recent battle with Neferet. And there are definitely like lumps of what appear to be flesh of unknown origin that are on the ground, just like puddles of blood and entrails on the ground as well.
Okay, gross.
Right.
Mort, go for it. Sorry.
Mort's attack hits with a 25 and does 13 points of damage.
Whoa.
To the same one that Barrios hit.
On the same one. Okay, great.
Yeah.
You said how much? 13?
So that's it for a total of 15 now.
15. Okay, so yeah, you follow up with Barrios is relatively weak. What was Barrios using? A spear or something?
He uses a warhammer.
Oh, warhammer. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he breaks a bone, and then you followed up more with the pin and just basically disembowel the thing. It just like with a floppy mess, like piles onto the floor, but it's still unnoticing comes towards you, but it looks like it's on its last legs.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so before the spells and turnings goes off, Wolford's going to race down, and if if there's space, I think there would, because Mort's small. He wants to stab with his spear at the one in front of Mort. Oh wait, that you said that one was on his last legs.
It is, yeah.
If there's space, he would want to attack the one that's hurt. Is there space?
But Mort and Barrios attack the same one.
You have reach, right? With the spear?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you're good.
So you're going over his head.
Over his head, yeah.
Stab down with the spear. Yeah. Same guy. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, that is just a 16 to hit, but I guess I owe you a save versus poison first, right?
Yes, actually, please, yeah. We should do this first.
Okay. Okay, that is a fail. I rolled a 7 and I had to roll over a 10.
Okay, so you are affected by the stench, and you start to hawk up. You just like, and you're going to be -2 to hit when you're in melee with the gas.
Okay, and if the AC was 16, then that becomes a miss.
Okay,
so you miss.
Yeah, so your hands tremble as nausea overcomes you. Anyone else?
Mediocre. I think that's it for melee. Right?
I heard a bunch, like a dozen people say they're going to cast spells. So why don't we step on that?
I mean, I'm ready to cast spells. Yeah.
I'm just waiting until I'm told it's my turn.
Okay.
We don't have turns.
I'll
remember?
Go first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna cast Phantom Armor on myself, which will give me, for anyone who've forgotten, semi-real. It's an illusion spell. It gives me semi-real plate with an AC of 16 that will absorb 1 damage per level, which would have been 5 damage.
Sweet.
And dispels after that threshold is reached. So that is now on me.
Cool. All right. So you kind of see that sort of phase into existence, like.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. Our wizard's wearing armor again. Okay, I'm going to try and turn these bad boys. I got a 7 on my first 2d6 roll.
Okay. And you're level what? 5?
I am level 5. 5 is the level that I am.
One moment, please. Yep.
That's
okay.
pretty good.
Roll 2d6.
That's going to be a 10.
10. Okay. So you are able to turn both the heavily wounded one and the other one that is in the doorway as they go screaming back over their companions to the far side of the room and scrabble at the arrow slits on the western wall.
Sweet. Nice. All right.
Just as a bit of a flavor, I'm going to say that my armor looks like a Tigress of Gauls in Gladiator 1 with the giant lioness.
Nice.
An illusory.
Right on.
Cool.
Baron Wald's going to step up with a turn and whiffs it with rolling a 5.
Okay.
For a level 1 cleric, that is a lack of faith. Disturbs him.
So that was a turn. I'm sorry.
That was a turn. It didn't do squat.
Yeah, it didn't do squat. Oh, but this is the first time that Baron Wald's actually met failure while turning.
Yeah.
Maybe his faith isn't.
He's giving up on whatever it is that he worships. He's going to turn to Thoth in his sorrow.
All right, so anything with Sam, I think? Sam and Elizabeth, anything?
Go ahead.
So Elizabeth will cast her second decompose spell on one of the now healthy ones that was not turned.
That is not turned. Okay.
Correct.
So that's 2d4 damage.
2d4, which is 5 points of damage.
5 points. All right. So immediately the blackened skin starts to slough off of that ghast, revealing nothing but pink, awful muscle beneath. It's like shaving off brisket. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. I'm a little hungry now, actually.
All day, figuring out gross things to say today. Is that what you mean?
Well, I think people just kind of take undead to but they're fucking horrible.
We need some,
gross.
Okay.
Sam's just gonna, I suppose, if there's sufficient room, because I wasn't here last session, I'm not exactly sure spatially. I'm a little confused, but to attack the weakest of the guests.
So she can't only because that there's
reach with that weapon.
She has a halberd. So
yeah, she can. Okay,
that's
go ahead.
up to John.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. So I will do that. I will roll to attack.
Are you? Actually, you know what?
No, because it's the other two haven't moved up yet.
That's correct. Yeah,
They
there's no
haven't. Okay, they haven't. All right.
Yeah,
All right. So then
yeah.
I'll just keep her defensively. That's what I thought, but I'm a little confused at the room dimensions right now. So
David, if you look at the map,
yeah, would you bring me to it?
I don't know how to do that, but
No, not that. I mean, just point me there. Yeah.
right. So this room, right, and this little curtain is where Mort and Barrios are standing. So everybody else is in this part of the hallway, and the ghasts are in here.
Ted, you're I don't see your icon moving at all. So John, could you point me where he is?
Yes.
All right, I'll follow John.
Yeah. So everyone move their cursors away, please.
In the mage's room is where we're at, where the curtain was.
Yeah.
Yeah. This room,
that room where the map was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just talk. So this room is where they're at, this square room. Okay. Mm-hmm. You are all piled into this eastern corridor, looking through this tapestry. Okay. But Mort and Barrios are right up in front, and you've got who attacked from behind again? Wolford. Wolford's directly behind him, so just a little bit to the east. Right, and then Sam is probably like right next to Wolford, but doesn't have a legitimate target because two of them were turned and are now on the western end of that room. Okay, and two just haven't actually been able to move up yet.
Okay,
right.
So that clears a lot up. I have one question.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just let her stay defensively. And those are arrow slits across the various walls.
The red things, yes.
Could she slip a halberd blade through an arrow slip and just sort of stab through?
No, I don't think so. Not with a halberd.
You think, too small. Okay,
that's a big fucking weapon. Yeah.
David, do you want us to get out like a mat and some little miniatures or something?
I'd prefer if you actually just pose in your room and sort of like express it as a sort of theater impromptu.
Okay, so there's two more left. One is currently decomposing, but they don't care at all. So it's what's going on?
Mike's being ridiculous.
Mike's ruining the show. He pulled a sword out for anyone who's listening. Oh, now Ted has a sword out. John's gonna kill them both.
Yeah, I am going to murder you because we need to continue. We are literally on the bottom half of the first round.
This encounter's 45 minutes long.
Yeah. Christ almighty. Okay, so there are two ghasts. One is decomposing, and they are going to rush at the immediate opponents in front of them, which are Mort and Barrios. So I'm going to say the wounded one's going to go for Mort.
Okay.
And you're going to get a claw bite. What's your AC, Mort?
20.
20. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Miss. And Barrios's?
16.
16. Miss. Hit.
Damn.
So, claw and a bite.
Oh, Barrios, it was so nice knowing you.
Adios, Barrios.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, so that's going to be it's going to be 7 points of damage total from both attacks, and then I need you to make 2 saves versus paralysis.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 14, and that's a miss and a miss.
He's paralyzed then?
He is paralyzed.
Okay, so yeah, he lets out like just a soft like wheeze as he just sort of collapses to the ground with rigid limbs. Okay.
So just collapsing like he's just stiff as a board. He's not just limp.
Yeah, no, he's like paralyzed. Yeah. Okay, got that down. All right, so and it looks like all their eyes like just focus on that prone form, you know. Okay,
delicious.
Bottom of the round, top of the round. I'm sorry. Declare spells or melee movement.
How many of them? There's 2 that are still unturned, correct, John?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do another turn.
You can't do another turn. You already used it for this encounter.
Oh, bollocks. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought I could turn unturned enemies. Okay.
No.
That's fair.
Only if they're a different type.
Someone else think about something that they want to do.
Lisbeth will cast a spell.
Okay. Any melee movement or any other spells?
No.
Yeah. So, what's his name? Wolford will step up over Barrios.
Mhm.
If somebody else could like pull him back.
Yeah, Baron Wall to grab him.
I'm also going to declare spells, by the way. Yeah.
Declare spells. Okay, roll for initiative, please. I got a 2.
All right. I have a 2.
Roll again. 1.
I have a 6.
That's you.
Ha!
Go for it.
Ah,
sorry,
Wishes to fight a gas.
Can I cast light on one of the ghouls and blind it?
Uh,
Or gas, I should say.
you could. You needed to declare that before initiative, but I'll let you have it.
Okay, because I'm sorry. I declared I was doing a spell, and then I realized I couldn't turn again, so I was just trying to see what else I could do. So I'll cast light on the undamaged, one of the undamaged ghasts.
Okay.
All right. One of the ones in the front row.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Mort's going to stab not that one, I guess. And that is a hit for a 28 and does 13 points of damage again.
Are you doing it against the one that is decomposing or the fresh one?
Decomposing.
Decomposing. Okay. All right. You end that guy. He's gone.
Sweet.
He
Define
collapses,
fresh.
he collapses onto the ground.
Nice.
Okay. And Wolf.
I have a spell that might be useful before we do too much melee. If you guys would
Go
like
ahead.
me to fire that off. I have a spell called Marionette, which lets me take control of a corporeal undead monster of up to 4 HD.
Ooh.
It's a concentration up to 1 round per level, and I can make it attack, move, etc., etc., etc. So, of which of these fellers would you like me to cast that on, guys? What do you think is the best idea? What, the injured guy or the uninjured guy on the front line? Or would you rather them attack their friend who's already injured, in other words, and then you clear off the others? Or
If the uninjured guy that was turned attacked the injured guy that was turned, that would make a lot of sense.
I'll do that then.
And they'll
Okay,
fight
do they
each
get
other.
Saving,
Yeah.
the victim may make a saving versus paralysis to resist the spell, John.
Okay. Very good. Let's see. Got it. And he fails it.
Hey,
All right.
everybody meet Mort 2.
All right. So that
He's a
ghast
little
who was
different.
that ghast that was turned and was scrabbling against the wall, suddenly like all of its limbs sort of jerk in like a puppet-like motion, you know, and it just sort of like, you know, like its head sort of like at the side with its arms sort of raised like this, and it's just kind of sort of waiting your command.
They call me Bob Barker. All right, so I'm going. That was a deep cut. Sorry. I'm just parsing the spell. Within the round that I cast this, I assume I can control it, John. I'll read it to you real quick. The target can spell can target either corporeal, etc., etc. Caster can make the victim move, attack, freeze, or act in any way desired. Control is imperfect, however. The victim moves jerkily and acts without precision, making attack rolls -2. It does not set concentration, being distracted, or performing any other action except moving causes the spell to end.
I'll let you do an attack this round. That's fine.
Within the same round?
Sure,
Okay.
go for it. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna do that attack.
Okay.
Or maybe you should do the attack because you have the
It's
stats.
at a -2.
-2 to hit. Yep.
Okay, got it. So it's trying to do that. Got it. Okay. Miss, hit. Okay. Of course, its own paralysis doesn't work against its own kind, but it is going to do 9 points of damage with a claw and a bite. So it just basically launches itself, due to Upior's very strange possession of it, onto its companion, who is scrabbling in the corner, turned, and ends it easily. And begins to just devour the entrails that Mort had emptied earlier.
Gross.
Hey.
All right, so that's 2 down.
Right.
One
And there's only
possessed,
there's one
untouched.
Yeah, there are two.
and still in melee.
There are 2 left. Both of them are full. One is being puppeteered in the very back of the room, and one is up front.
Right.
And
And that's
now
not my
my light spell is going to go off on that one.
Okay, go ahead and cast it. They get a saving throw versus spells with that, right?
Correct.
Okay, and that's going to be what for them? A little 14 action. Fails it.
Sweet.
And that is going to what? Blind?
Yes.
Okay. Blind creature. So we've already sort of talked about this, but we're not going to do like the OSE rules as written, like blind people just can't attack. Like, of course, a blind person can attack. You know what I mean? But I think if I remember correctly, I think we were doing like a major penalty, like a -6 penalty for blind, right? So if that's cool with you, I'm going to do a -6. Is that cool?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Okay, Lisbeth's spell will go off as well. She's going to let loose a fairy fire
Uh-oh.
Nice.
and she'll target that one and the one that's not being puppeteered. And I don't see a save on that. They just start kind of glowing a little bit in low light conditions. So if it's not brightly lit in there, John, then they'll glow
There is
a
a
little
continual light in the room.
Yeah, it is. There is continual light in the room. So it's not really low light.
Yeah,
It's not really low light.
Yeah.
If they
Okay.
flee the area though, Matt, then that would be good.
We're gonna kill him though.
Well, how much damage did Barrios take when he got hurt?
He is half. He took 7 out of 12.
Okay.
So
Then
he's
what
hurt
she'll do
you.
instead of the fairy fire,
Yeah.
once Baronwald pulls him back,
Yeah.
she'll touch him and cast Cure Serious Wounds
Oh, Cure Serious
on him.
Nice.
Elizabeth is no
2d6
joke.
plus 2.
All right, cool.
Wild.
She's not
Love it.
messing
Oh,
around.
wait. Hold on one second.
Wait.
You actually might want to cast Cure Light Wounds. And I'll let you look it up to find out why. Instead of Cure Serious.
She does not have Cure Light Wounds prepared.
Oh.
She only has Cure Serious prepared twice.
Well, Cure
Oh,
Serious is still
damn.
pretty awesome. But if you guys know what I'm talking about with Cure Light Wounds,
No.
No.
it also cures
Oh.
paralysis.
But Serious
Why doesn't
doesn't?
Cure Serious?
D&D, baby.
Weird. Okay.
Game design. We love game design.
Matt, I have a cure light wounds. I can do it next turn.
Okay. Then we'll go with the fairy fire.
Go with the fairy fire. Okay.
You can't tell it because it's brightly lit, but they're glowing.
Got
Okay.
it. Okay, they're
It's
glowing.
awesome.
In your
They're-
mind's eye.
Well, you definitely see them glowing. It's just you don't get a benefit from the glowing. That's all. But if they move,
Okay. Well, they look pretty.
Yes, indeed. Okay, cool.
The accoutrement is nice. And
Pretty
then,
awful.
Wolford will try to stab at the one that's up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 20, so I think that's going to hit.
Oh, nasty.
And that is 13 points of damage.
What are you using?
He is using Count Scleros's spear.
Okay, cool. All right, so that doesn't end it, but it really screws it up big time as you just basically gut it from stem to sternum. But it keeps coming. That's the end of the top of the round, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so one is being puppeteered and is just munching on its buddy, but the one that is facing Wolford is definitely going to retaliate. Wolford, what is your AC?
It is 18, John.
18. Oh, Wolford, did you make a save?
He failed it.
You failed it.
I failed the first. Do I do it each time, or is it just carry over?
You have failed it, so you should be -2 as long as you're in melee, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you still hit though, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a natural 20, so.
Oh, yeah, it's natural 20. Yeah. Oh, I got a natural 20. There you go.
No,
Hit,
it's not
hit
fair.
again. All right, 2 claws both hit. So I need you to make two saving throws versus paralysis, please.
You know what, John? I'm going to pass on that because he's got that ring of free action
Ooh, very nice.
and
Okay,
cannot be paralyzed. Boom.
very nice. Okay, so yeah, you
They're
just
probably still going to hurt.
you magically reject that, but you're only going to take 5 points of damage total from the claws.
Nice.
Oh, okay. He says,
Oh.
ow.
All right,
he does.
that's bottom of the round. Top of the round, spells, melee movement.
I don't believe I will be casting.
No, okay,
Nope.
initiative, please. I got a 1.
All right. I got a 5.
Okay, it's you.
Nice.
All right. Mort leans
We're
in.
learning spells first, though, right?
He just asked us.
How many spells?
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. I'm going to cast Cure Light Wounds on Barrios.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You guys are like, spells? No? Okay, let's go. And I'm like, but wait a minute.
Everybody, quick check-in. We need to talk a little slow for Grandma. All right, we have to bring it down a little slower.
Jesus, this is the guy without any retainers to run either. He's
This
like,
is-
slow down, guys. All right.
Oh,
All right.
John,
I'm
It's okay,
going
Mikey.
to
I see it.
You're very
fight
pretty.
the ghast.
Yes.
Oh,
My camera keeps
shit.
dying. For some reason.
That's a 9. So I hit. with a 19, and that is for 10 points on the
one that Wolford's attacking.
blinded one, I guess. Right? Is he
Yeah.
still standing?
He's still standing. 10 points, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he's still going. But you so both you and Wolford are laying into him, but he's still like scrabbling to get at your brains.
Okay.
Yeah, let me punch him with the spear here.
Okay.
I have my
Let's try
brains.
That is 18 minus 2, 16. I believe still hits him.
Good
Correct?
hit.
Yep.
Okay. That
Good job,
is
Wolford.
ooh, he just rolled really well. That is 20 points of damage. 2d10 plus 2.
That's
I rolled a
X
10 and an 8.
gassed. Okay, so there's only the puppeteered one left. Mike, why don't you have Lothar do the cure light wounds? 1d6 plus 1.
Yeah. You will take 2 points and like it.
Okay, so Barros
That's it.
Barrios is up, and it also cures his paralysis, so he's good to go again.
Okay.
Okay. So Barrios can actually act if you want him to, but David, Upior has the marionette on the one.
I do. So this is round 2 of 5 that I can control this undead gang, and just a little more clarification, John. I don't believe the paralyzed counted as a separate special attack because it's just part of their remedy, right? But so you know, I can't command anything to do a special attack like a breath attack or thing like that. If I were to control it,
Paralysis is from their filth, their grave.
it's from their filth. That's what I thought. Just clarifying, and also just so everyone knows, I can't have them act in a self-destructive manner or against their alignment, or they get another save to break the spell. So I can tell them to do it, but they get another save.
Okay, so
Like
combat is basically over because you're puppeteering one.
Yeah.
And one last thing,
Yeah, I'm
David.
just telling you that so you know. Yeah.
David, when you pop back in, you need to change your mic back to your good one.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound weird.
Okay.
So should we just execute this one? Like tell him to turn around and stick his neck out and we just cut his head off? Or
Do you want to
use
break
it
or not? I thought John was saying we're going to break. I'm confused.
No, he's saying you need to fix your mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessarily the way to do it, but okay.
Wow, we're really batting 1,000 tonight.
Well, to be fair, we've only done this 90 times. So
Come on. Jeez, John. Taskmaster. Is that better, David?
Do I sound good? Do I sound
you sound so good.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the question is,
story.
David, do you want your guy to stick out his neck to be executed?
Or do you have an idea?
Oh, my marionette. Well, that's why.
Upior.
That's what I was the reason I was giving additional context is I have 3 more rounds we can do something with this guy if there's something you guys would like to use him for, like a cushion for spears or arrows if we're about to turn according to other undead. I don't know.
So for 3 rounds, it's about 30 seconds longer now that we're out of combat.
Don't do it, dude.
Just kill him. Then just kill him. I'll have him.
Here's one thing though, David. David, are you wearing the Iron Circlet of Gonor?
No, because we did not want the Goblin King to see me wearing it, so that was stowed away.
But do you have it on you?
No, we put it in our stash.
Okay.
I don't have it at all.
Didn't we put it in the sack?
Oh, it's in the sack. That's what it is. It's on Matt's character sheet. It's not on my character sheet anymore because I gave it either to Matt, put it in the sack, or put it in the stash. I think it's on Matt's in the sack. Yeah, it's in the sack. So could I have it back, please? Give me, please. Why do you ask though, John?
We're in the middle of combat, though. So are we killing this guy?
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle. Yeah.
Or are you going to make him do something for 30 seconds? We're going to kill him, right?
So you're gonna kill him. Go ahead and kill him.
Can we just kill him?
So have him kneel down, hold his head out, and Mort will chop it off.
Okay, very good.
I'll do, but before he does that, I'm gonna have him do his best pantomime of like Mort's body, language. Just be like, do a little Mort impression. I'm Mortis de Gobliano. Oh, I'm so important. But without the words, but
Or kill him
that's
with
sort of
extreme prejudice.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So the head goes rolling, and you just have a pile of just awfulness that's sitting in the middle of that room. The stench is really horrible, just burned flesh and meat. So that's the deal. So so that took a turn.
Yes.
All right, and So it looks like, that this is obviously where the witch doctors used to have their headquarters. There was one. You could tell that it used to be really well decorated, like with a lot of furnishings, like furs and cushions. Each one of them obviously had a bed. There's a small table that's still kind of in the center of the room, where there is a rock which looks like continual light had been cast on it by one of the witch doctors, which basically lights up the entire room. From there are chairs that are broken on the ground as well. And you can see that there are each one of the beds, which has been badly scorched. At the foot of those beds are chests, wooden chests. Indeed, yes.
Okay.
Did we loot these last time we came through here?
I don't
we
think
did
so.
not.
I don't think we took the time.
We
No,
were chasing, right?
we were chasing
Nefrit.
Nefrit. We wanted to, and I think we actually redacted it because we were worried about exactly that, along with not taking that map, which I think you guys did that last session, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now
Awesome.
Let's go
Pop
ahead
open
and
some chests.
clean. Yeah, I mean, are they likely to be trapped? Yes, they are. So,
can I ask one more question?
what's that?
John, the size of the stone that has the continual light on it, is it like portable size, or is it like a big old fuck off stone?
It is. Yep.
I'm gonna yoink that.
Amazing.
That's one slot.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's our official torchbearer these days? Can we give it to them?
Barrios was carrying one, and Baronwald, I think, had one too.
Hear me out.
Stone, then, yeah.
Hear me out. Which one of you has a shield? Anyone carrying a shield? Why don't you take some twine and tie that stone to that shield?
We can until something sharp hits it.
Fair. Okay, never mind.
It'll take a slot, which means it'll be equipped and it'll put me over into the crawling on the floor stage. So, not doing it. But
It's one of the bearers. That's fine.
I have plenty of slots. I can take the stone for now if you want.
Cool.
We can suss it out later.
And Mort want to see if the chests are movable or if they're fixed.
They're not fixed.
Well, why don't we drag one out of the sludge that's in here into the hallway, where we can point it the opposite direction and open it.
Moving it might set off whatever trap you're trying to avoid as well, Ted.
Well, let's find out.
What we can do though is we can make use of the arrow slits and put some twine through the arrow slit to the lid of the chest and then pull it open that way.
I love that. Let's do it.
Good thinking.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Mort and Barros go in and tie twine to all 4 chest tops and feed them through arrow slits and then exit the room.
Okay, that's going to take another turn. By the way, while you are working on this, you do hear the low sounds of moaning undead from all directions.
While they're doing that, John, I will stay watch with whoever's got the continual light stone with my holy symbol ready to smite them.
So what I will do then... Sorry.
I was going to say, there's. I'll go with you. What we can do is go to the east. There's a door there. Wolford can just jam the tip of his spear into that door. So just in case they start trying to push through, that'll keep that door from opening.
Okay.
Mike,
the only egress behind us is back to the main hall, right?
Which we already cleared. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a secret door in this room we could use to run away if we had to.
Well, and for that reason, what I would like to do is a couple things, gang. Just so we are appraised of this. Who would like to be my my master blaster? Who would like to be my my little companion and traversing the dungeon? I'm gonna fire off my deer boots. I'm hovering, and I'm gonna drop my chain, which is on my inventory, for someone to pull me around like a balloon. And I'm gonna have my continual light out and the iron circlet on, just so we have a light detection floating mage. Does that make sense?
So you're an observation blimp.
I'm literally an observation bit, but I need someone to pull me along on the chain while that happens.
Baronwald.
I mean, Sam could do that. I mean, I could just use Sam to do that. Actually.
No, Baronwald is great. We use Baronwald.
Baronwald will pull Upior the blimp everywhere around.
Okay.
I have that circlet on now, though, John. So if there's any secrets or things that I should be aware of, let me know. I will take that off as soon as we are out of zombie territory, though, guys, because I know the goblins aren't coming in here for fear from last session, but I don't want anyone else to see. So,
Okay, very good. Okay, so you rig up your little thing, and then from the other side of the room, you're going to pull the twine from the arrow from the arrow slits, so the chest open up within the room, right?
Right.
It'll blow up in the room and leave us safe.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Love it.
You get 1, 2, 3, and you do it, and all 3 chests creak open with a little bit of effort, but nothing untoward happens.
What about the 4 chests? Aren't there 4 chests?
Oh, there are 4. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The fourth one blows up.
That's what I assumed he was getting at. Yeah. So let's see. What's in the 4 chests, John?
So you go back into the room.
Yes.
Okay. So one chest, there was the reason I said 3, is completely empty. However, the other 3 do have things in them. So
Okay.
one of them, let's see. Okay. All right. So the first one that you look in has you see twinkling red gems of like a dusky red wink up at you. Not rubies, but garnets. But there are 50 of them, small. Each of them worth 70 gold pieces.
Very nice.
Yeah, that is 3,500 GP value. For 70 gems, I am going to say that is going to be a slot if you wanted to take all 70.
We do, and Barrios has plenty of room. He's carrying the painted canvas map right now, as it happens, but he's got room to carry more. Okay.
So yeah, one slot for 50 garnets worth 70 gold each.
Are you guys sure you don't want to just take 5 and like leave the rest here?
why? Are you being a troll right now? Okay.
Because you always do that shit.
Oh, I see.
There in that chest as well. There are 3 separate scrolls.
Okay.
Let's look at it.
We'll hand those up to Upior if he's not too high up in the ceiling there.
Upior, you're just like basically at normal height, right? You're just sort of floating above the ground, right?
I don't know the height of the ceiling, so
Yeah,
I'm just floating above the ground right now. But I would prefer to be towards the ceiling if that were possible. I just don't know the height.
I'm imagining you flat against the ceiling with this chain.
That's kind of what I was trying to do, is like kind of swim across the ceiling.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. All right. So you look at the scrolls, and there are 3 like 1 scroll for each. There is mirror image, explosive runes, and fear.
Ooh.
Oh, the witch doctors were nice guys.
And those were those garnets and those scrolls were sort of sorted amidst like more mundane clothing and gear that the witch doctors were using. Another chest holds another 3 scrolls. This one is sleep, magic mouth, and blink.
Wow.
Okay. And in addition, in here, you find some coins that you have yet to see. You mistake them at first as very large silver coins, thinking that they, of some sort of foreign civilization or something. But then you see that no, it definitely has Arcantian marks on it. It is indeed ancient. They are octagonal, and they are quite large. They are about 2 inches across and about a 1/2 inch thick.
They're monsters.
And they're platinum. They're made out of solid platinum. They are ancient Arcantian platinum coins.
Wow.
Whoa.
And they're pretty cool. So they on the obverse side, they feature an obelisk with an eye in it. And that image is surrounded by the legend that says Imp Archon Reign Est, which is like each one of those words is an abbreviation short for Imperator Arcantii Regendum Est, or the Arcantian Emperor shall rule. And on the reverse is the legend Auc et est potest, short for Auctoritas est potestas, or authority is power. And these A lot of noises coming from the party. Okay, so there's
sorry, John.
You're triggering David, man. You're triggering him hard.
More importantly, each Each of these coins is worth 375 gold pieces.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yep.
Okay, and how many are there, John?
Yeah, how many, John?
There are 10 of them. So
Nice.
therefore, you have another 3,750 gold piece value worth of the coins. Now, the coins themselves, because they're so big, 10. It's similar to the Arcantian Solidai, the gold Solidai, 10 per slot. So if you want to take all 10 of them, it would take an entire slot.
All right. Well, I got slots on Barrios, so we'll put in here 10 Arcantian platinum coins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty cool.
Nice.
Lastly, in the third and final chest that has something in it, there is a couple of things, interesting things. There is a solid silver statuette of what appears to be a troll-like being. You think it's probably like an abstract depiction of a Varamani. It's made out of solid silver, though, and it's worth about 400 gold pieces. And there is a very strange-looking globe that when you pick it up, you see that it's actually made out of a perfectly carved sapphire, but it's carved in a manner to look like an eye. Okay, it's solid, and it has the features of a human eye. It has like lashes, a pupil, an iris. All have been carved in size onto the surface, and it's made out of solid sapphire.
Wow.
And does it show up as magic under the watchful gaze of the iron circlet?
It does, actually, yes. It shows up as enchanted.
All right.
So we've seen a lot of eyes and eye holes and sockets around here. What would you say is this diameter? Is this like hand size, small?
No, it looks to be about the size of like a real eye.
Okay. So I wonder if this is one of those statues of, it was Priscus Pulcher, right? That was always missing one eye.
Yeah.
We should. I think it was the one in Debouchement, right? That was missing one. Anyway, we'll keep that for later. Interesting.
And then lastly, so that's a non-encumbering item, by the way.
Okay.
And lastly,
I'm putting all this stuff on Barrios unless anybody says different.
Let's just keep him alive.
Yeah.
You find a fragment of vellum. Okay. And you can see that the fragment does indicate, like up in the upper right-hand corner, what volume, like what book it belonged to. And that book was called The Deeds of Tarmis. And Tarmis is spelled Ptarmis.
Deeds of Tarmis.
The Deeds of Tarmis. And the fragment...
other deeds, but not that one.
The fragment, the little tidbit that it has there, is a quote that says, the great fungal explorer, Lord Tarmis, chose to abandon his kith and kin and establish his home and ultimate resting place on a high promontory amid the mushrooms that he loved.
The mushrooms that he loved, well, that seems to indicate fungal caverns, right?
He's probably buried in there or something. Okay.
Interesting.
So I'm going to say take a turn to basically loot those chests.
Just as is
the statue one slot, John?
The statue is a slot, yes, correct, yeah. It's a Varamani statue.
No, you're fine. I don't have it memorized now, but just as a note, because I'm back in Gemstone thinking of the Onweir days. Reminder: I still have a quartz agate, small ruby, and small onyx that I was using with Onweir for a chromatic orb. Okay. This is the first sapphire I think we've ever seen, which is the highest tier of chromatic orb. Now I have to be 7th level to even use it, but
it's already magic.
It's a paralysis. No, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
oh, I see. In a pinch, right?
It's
in a
good,
pinch.
yeah.
Yeah, it would qualify, definitely, yeah. Okay, so after collecting that treasure, I think this is actually a good point to take our first break. So let's do that, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. Okay, so what is the plan?
All right. So here's the thing, John. I think that with Lisbeth's new ability, right? She's in the month that she's been down here, she's gone from barmaid to a very high level druid, and she can actually once she was slinging drinks, now she can change into animals, which is just bizarre. With her, we figured that with her ability to change into, and we were thinking one of those little cave lizards that we saw in the goblin market,
The white lizards, yeah,
that are kind of native to this area, that she could, unseen and unnoticed by any of these creatures, running along the ceiling, just map out where everything is. Still, all the zombies, all the gas and everything. And I mean, we have the tactics. So if we know where they all are, we could funnel them. We can take care of them
right,
with superior brain power, superior magic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So powerful turnings of 2. So I think we got this.
So we kind of talked about this over the interim period here, that I think with a combination of having Baronwald and Lothar being effective turners, especially versus what the vast majority of what the undead are, which is zombies, that and then with being able to get the drop on them specifically with that shapeshift, and being able to kind of see where they all are and all that kind of good stuff, that we're going to call it, so that we're not just doing a grind of wave after wave of undead, which is just going to get unbelievably tedious. So what we're going to rule is that you guys definitely have the upper hand here. You know the areas, you know what you're facing already because you fought a number of already. That we're going to say that you are able to purge the Beastman compound of the undead. There is no big boss monster undead or anything like that you need to face. The gas were basically it. So you are able to do it with minimal loss. I am going to say it's going to take some time, however. So I'm going to say that to clear it all out, it will take an entire hour. Okay, that seems fine.
That actually seems really fair. Short, to be honest with you.
Actually, just for my time tracker, I'm gonna make it an hour and 10 minutes just to put us at a round hour. So
all right.
With that said, any existing torches go out. Okay.
We have the continual light rock now.
I have the rock.
Can I ask a question about the condition of Scleros's body when we found him?
Mm-hmm.
Again, had he ended up changing into an undead? I think we had tried to prevent that, right?
He did not. So when you, as your ultimate goal is Deino's chamber once again, you do see Scleros's body is still there, sort of propped up against her bed. Okay.
How long has it been since he's died?
I have no idea.
It's like
Day or so.
a day and change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a scroll with raised dead on it. Do we want to bring old Count Scleros back?
No, because eventually he'll figure out that Nefret was my fault, and I don't want that.
I think we have better. It's a really good idea, but I think probably there are more valuable NPCs to us in that sort of context. Yeah,
I liked him. He was.
I know. Yeah. But this isn't a game about feelings. All right, so
I mean, we can still think about it for a little while.
But it is a game about lasers.
I was going to make a lasers and feelings joke, but yeah.
So after the purge, you guys have all collected yourselves into Deino's chamber, okay? Because that's your ultimate goal. All right. So again, once everything is scorched here as well. There's a major battle. You can see that there are the burned husks of numerous real animals, real humans, and beastmen. There's a major conflict that happened here. The armoire was tipped over. If you remember from last time, you picked up a vial of what was it looked like a hot red liquid out of that armoire.
I have it
as well,
and a silver chest too, right?
And now with the Iron Circlet of Gonor, although I think someone detected it before as well. Maybe it was the Iron Circlet the first time too. But yes, there is a secret door on the southern wall. Scleros's corpse is there as well. Yeah.
I think
Before
actually
we-
I spotted that with the Mask of Touristas.
Mask.
Possibly.
Okay, that's probably true.
Before,
Yeah.
before we go through that,
Yeah.
forgive my faulty memory. Did any? This sounds like a joke, but it's not. Did anyone look under her bed or like turn the sheets
No.
or anything like that? I would like to go like peek under the bed, John, turn the sheets, et cetera, and just make sure there's nothing
Stab the
under,
mattress.
around, etc., behind the bed of any novelty or intrigue
Sure.
that I can
Well,
find.
Well, her boogeyman's under there. Be careful.
The
Yeah, I
dead
know.
Yeah, there's nothing that takes a turn to do that.
I'm going to ask one more question about clearing the area, John. We obviously found a giant section of loot in that room that we had bypassed last time. Are we just getting the loot, or do we have to go back and re-explore the areas that we would have done if we swept it room by room?
What loot?
Sorry. Anything else in the complex? Anything else in the Beastman complex? Should we
Oh yeah, there's nothing
plan
else.
on going back room by room and searching things, because we would. This is the equivalent of checking the dead guy for change in his pockets.
I don't. I'm not going to go room by room right now.
Okay.
The only thing, and this is, I think this is something quick, John, between that fancy set of armor that was in the officers' quarters and what Count Scleros is wearing, would Barrios voluntarily, like, would he be willing to wear either one of those, or are these like off-putting to him since they kind of like cast him out? Seems like we could upgrade his armor.
Yeah, no, he could. He would wear it. Yeah.
What was it? What is Scleros wearing?
Let's see.
Because
So one set was the set that was on like an armature in
Yeah, I
the
remember
officers' quarters, right?
what it
And then there was
Scale,
whatever
right?
Scleros was wearing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Scleros's armor. Barrios, you do see is like he's a little bit sad when he sees Scleros's corpse. Although he doesn't really show it. He's a pretty staid individual, you know. But he would take it. It is it's chainmail +1, and it is black. It's like a black chainmail. It's pretty cool looking. That's what
We'll
Scleros
definitely take that. Let me just fix that on the old sheet here.
So black chainmail
And-
+1.
While we're armoring him up, I'm going to go tuck that kid in, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay.
While he's tucking in that kid, should we explore the secret chamber in her boudoir?
Yes, we shall. You want to listen at the secret section of wall door?
Yeah, man, I'll give it a good listen, John. I'm going to spend. Is it? I don't remember from our previous thing. Is the section of wall with the secret door just look like a regular section of wall? There's no air current or anything like that through it. If we hold up a torch to it or a candle.
To this one, yeah, I guess a torch would probably, like a candlelight, would flicker a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the iron circlet is you can clearly see that secret door is present right there. It's just a matter of
I'm just trying to, like, to me, I guess, and maybe this is me metaing a little bit too hard, is that if it's a stairwell or a passageway, then there might be airflow that makes it flicker. If it's just a place to poop, then probably not.
Okay, when you explain it like that, you're actually right. I don't think there would be any movement of light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to feel around the cracks that David indicates is the opening and see if I feel any catches or levers or buttons, if it's carved, if there's no carvings on it or anything like that.
This
Okay.
room has something around all the walls, John, where they like statues or something. Maybe one of them like turns, or I've got something marked on the map. It's little
Yeah,
green.
I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
Assuming they're gumdrops.
No, they are not gumdrops. They were the mummified remains of 25 human beings that used to be her playthings. They were all still dressed in archaic armor, and they were like festooned with silk ribbons and things like that. Those are all burnt and like fallen down to the ground, obviously. But anyways, Lothar, as you are sort of feeling around, I need you to make me a saving throw versus poison.
Oh, shit balls. Poison's bad, John. Poison kills people in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
just a quick question. Sorry, would the circlet have identified trap mechanisms, or would it just see
It
secret
doesn't.
doors?
It just sees
No.
secret doors.
Okay, just I thought
All
so.
right.
But
My save is a 9, and I rolled a 9.
Okay, cool.
Whoa.
So you're feeling with both arms like around like the seams of what you like. Upior's like, no, it's right right there, and you're like right here, and you're like moving your hands like, and you find a seam, and then as you're moving around feeling for a catch, you do feel a catch, and you pull it, and instead of like a door mechanism opening, it actually causes like a needle to like jut out from a seam in the stone, and you see it just at the last second. You yank your hand back, you're like, holy shit, like praise Odin. We'll say that your eye basically goes zik and like gets real narrow.
I'm going to use my fear effect on the wall.
But yeah, it just looks like Deino had set like a nasty trap for anyone who spotted her secret door there.
You need somebody with better saving throws than me to do this. Get in
I
there,
guess
Mort.
I guess I won't have another marionette this day, hey?
Oh, so that wasn't the opener for the secret door, then? Is that it?
No, it doesn't open the secret door.
That was death.
All right, Mort's going to start looking along the walls further over, looking for any sort of stone or turning sconce or hook from one of the bodies or something.
Yeah, and in the scorching of all the corpses, is it fair to say that like things that like mechanisms that were wood would have burnt away, right? So it'd probably be easier to catch where the switch was if it wasn't.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would think with your input, like with your insight like that, Upior, and then Mort actually looking around in different places other than around the door, that you do find, Mort, that there is a corner of scorched carpet that when you kind of pull it up, there is actually a small stone stud on the ground.
Ooh.
That is sort of raised up a little bit.
Yeah, I figured.
Nice.
Hey, thanks, Neferat. Made it easier on us.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Okay. We just had to, just cost us Yost and Avaricious. So Mort will press the stud.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so,
I will.
Wolford gets pressed.
So you press the stud and you can hear like a lock mechanism sort of unlock in on the wall. Although you don't see any, only Upior still sees the secret door.
Try pushing it, Mike. You're right there.
Nah, I'm good. I've already lost my eyeballs one time. Send a move.
Okay.
Mort will come over
Samantha will
and
do it. Oh, okay, you can do it.
Mort will, assuming it's unlocked, the stone probably swivels now. He's going to try and push one side and then the other.
Okay, so you
Let's
try
see
to
if we
push more. It doesn't actually push, but your pressure against the wall, you can see that the panel slides either to the left or to the right, and it appears that the left is where Lothar had tripped the needle trap.
Okay.
So do you want to?
So go the other way.
So you slide it to the right. Okay.
Yeah.
When you slide it to the right, it opens up, and you see Deino's secret treasure vault beyond.
Yes.
It is a very small room, as you can probably tell from your map. It is only 10 feet north to south by 20 feet east to west, and you are entering in from the western side of the northern wall.
Okay. So that means western side of the northern, like that.
You got it. Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So
And this is the Deino's. Oh, I need to zoom in here.
you could just treasure or vault or whatever.
Does it have a sign inside where that's scripted out?
My treasure. Okay, so there are. Okay, there's a lot of stuff packed in this room. The first thing that you kind of see is that dominates the room. There are 3 large oak chests. They are much larger than the chests in the witch doctor's room. Near the chests, there is a display stand that holds a human-sized suit of exquisite black, dead matte black leather armor. And also on the display the display stand is a very large 2-handed claymore sword. And you can see that there is some sort of inscription in the fuller of that blade. and it's glinting,
Say,
glinting in your continual light. Scattered around the room, you can see that there is a terracotta tomb seal that is chased with lapis and silver. There is a pair of fireplace pokers with solid gold handles. There's an ivory and gold triptych studded with precious stones. There is a ceremonial, what looks to be made out of platinum, a Mycenaean style helmet. There's a porcelain urn with a depiction of someone that might be familiar to you if you get a little bit closer. And there are numerous rolled up scrolls dotted around the corner, dotted around the place as well, in addition to the 3 large oak chests.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
John,
that's not even. Oh man.
yeah. And John, just while we're in here, do I see any other secret doors also in this room?
Good question.
We love a
No, you
secondary-
do not. No, you do not.
And what is radiating is magical, David.
Indeed.
Yeah, David, tell us.
Right.
Indeed.
Okay, so first of all, everyone can feel, but Upior feels it even more intensely wearing the Iron Circlet. But even those without the ability to detect magic can feel evil radiating palpably from within one of those oak chests.
Okay.
Just like waves of evil, like radiating outwards from one of the chests. That chest in particular, all of you guys can focus on. Is probably right where your eyes would go immediately. All of you does not look to be any different than the other two. Okay, but magic-wise, that chest, there's stuff in it is enchanted. Like the chest is not enchanted. The other two are not. The armor is enchanted. The giant claymore is enchanted, and the scrolls are enchanted.
The platinum helmet is not.
No.
Interesting.
Okay.
Do you want to knock out the scrolls real quick just to get them off our list?
Yeah, let's take a look at
It's
them.
like, look,
Okay, when you pick them up, Upior, you can't make heads nor tails of them. They look to be in some sort of liturgical script.
Hey, good for you guys. I
Bring
burned them all.
Why would you say things like that? That's so mean.
Brother Lothar and Brother Baronwald, together you look over and you can see that they are scrolls, that's clerical scrolls. Protection from evil, 10 foot. Silence. And detect magic.
That's it? I thought you said there were dozens of scrolls.
Just a bunch of scrolls. 3 scrolls.
Protection from evil, 10 foot. Silence, and what was the other one?
Detect magic.
Detect magic.
Okay.
You taking those, Lothar?
You know what, dude? I actually have a fair number of scrolls already. Matt, do you want to just go ahead and give those to Baronwald?
I'm actually running.
sure.
Baronwald.
Although, but Ted can. I take them and pass them to Ted.
Thank you.
All right, Baronwald takes them.
Okay, very good.
Out of curiosity, John, those so tomb seal, pokers, triptych, etc. One slot for each of those things.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so let's go through the non-magical stuff. Terracotta tomb seal chased with lapis and silver. That's going to be worth 100 gold. Okay. Now, the tomb seal itself is interesting. It looks to have been looted, obviously, from a tomb somewhere, probably in the halls. And it features what you can only assume to be one of the secret names of Thoth, the giver of life, is what is inscribed on that tomb seal. The fireplace pokers have solid gold handles. They are worth 50 gold each, so the pair is worth 100. The ivory and gold triptych is quite beautiful because it's not only ivory and gold, but also studded with precious stones. So it's like just like a riot of color, right? And it's large. It's the triptych, and it features the 8th, 9th, and 10th labors of Arden, which you recognize from your time in the Lost Chambers as well. If you want details on what those labors are, I can tell you. That is worth 575 gold. All right. The platinum ceremonial Mycenaean helmet is worth 350 gold. All right, and then there is a large porcelain urn. This is extremely fragile. I'll say that. So if you take this and you get into battle, there will definitely be a roll to break it. A porcelain urn with a beautiful depiction of the one and only Laryl One Eye.
Ooh.
In his well-known jaunt with the farmer's wife. So it's a
Should
little,
put his ashes in.
Well, and therein lies, I have Laryl's ashes. Do we want
We've
to?
only been carting those around for
Do
how
we
long?
want to?
2
I know.
years?
Well, yeah.
How much is it worth?
Plop them
John?
in, man. Plop them in. Just put them
Well,
right in
sorry,
there.
Well,
it's worth 100 gold.
Do we want to very gently open the top and hold our noses in case it possesses all of us?
Is there anything in it, John?
Nothing to
David,
worry
we can
about.
cast
There's nothing in it.
protection from evil 10-foot radius.
Nothing in it.
No.
There's nothing in it.
In it.
I'm
Okay.
going to take Laryl's
Wait.
ashes.
David, we can
Yes.
cast protection from evil 10-foot radius. You can't be possessed then.
Okay, why don't you then? If you want to, that's up to you.
Well,
We take out the coffer, right?
We can
That's
wait
what
to
it
do
does.
this till after we do the other things because it's
Oh
so
yeah, yeah.
gentle.
Just take out the coffer.
All right. Let's investigate the non-evil chest.
Okay.
How about that?
So there are
So-
two non-evil chests.
Right.
Okay. So you open them up. I'm just going to cut to the chase. They're not trapped. The first one has a ton of silver pieces. They are modern silver pieces, though. There's 18,259 SP in there. That is worth 1,826 gold, but all of it does take 182 slots. So there's that. The second chest has a mixture of gold and copper, actually. So there's 5,673 gold, which is its exact value. And there is 14,512 copper, which would yield 145 gold value, but of course is, a lot of coins.
Just throw them.
Wow.
So
Just carry them
Mike,
to the
Mike
edge
just
of the
digging that
cavern and just
treasure
drop
hole.
'em.
Hey John,
yeah,
I
think
have
of all the
one.
wishes we get. Yeah.
I have one thought. Sorry, are we done with that chest?
Yes.
No.
Oh, hold on.
We'll keep going. He said you're done with that chest.
Yes.
Something occurred to me. This is a GM Fiat thing. I gifted to Mother. You'll recollect an ion stone. Would Mother have that on her person, or would that be in here?
It's not here.
It's not here.
No.
Interesting.
Oh,
That's my girl. That's my girl.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it definitely seems, guys, like we just want to shovel as much of this into the sack as we just possibly can, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
in addition to that, while we're doing the old loot shovel, starting with the gold, working down the silver, whatever. Wolford's eyes just keep going back to that sword. He's going to go up to that big sword, and first he's going to look and see if he can read what the writing is.
It's in Mithric.
I can read
Read
it.
it for you. Oh,
Yeah,
aren't you special? Okay, go on ahead. I don't even need to be here anymore.
Yeah, John,
Phonics worked for me.
he's grabbing that sword with his non-dominant hand
Mm-hmm.
because I've learned things, and he's going to hold it up and see if these guys can read what the word says.
Okay, so in the fuller is inscribed in Mithric the word nonus, which means ninth.
No news.
Say it. Just say it. Just hold it and say
He
it.
does. No news. Ninth. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Nothing
what's
happened.
The
No
ninth,
news.
what's the ninth labor of Arden, John?
The ninth labor.
That's a very good question, Ted. Ooh.
Beheading yourself, probably.
Otherwise, I don't know what else it would be referring to. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, and on that, I have a question next, which is very left field. But
The ninth
let's
labor
figure
was
this out
singing the dead to sleep. At the new settlement of Magnus Auger, the dead refused to remain in their graves and crypts. Citizens reported eerie music in the night with reports of walking dead terrorizing and even attacking the living. Arden and Vul arrived with their comrade Ristus, a cleric of Thoth. Despite their efforts, which involved re-killing a number of undead, the problem didn't end. Finally, Arden realized that the music was controlling the dead. The trio tracked the music to the crypt of a Thorkin Scop. A Scop is like a chieftain. The trio defeated the Scop after Arden was able to challenge him to a musical duel. Once placated, the Scop retired and the hauntings ceased.
You said Ristus, as in Toe Ristus?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So it's probably not that. That doesn't sound very connected with the Claymore.
Do I look at that black leather armor? See if there's anything written on it up close, or
So there is nothing written on the armor, but it is exquisite.
Is it made for is it made for Deino? Is it all like, curvy leather armor?
You can't really tell if it's
Ted,
sized for a certain gender, but it's like matte black. It looks like it's meant for second story work, as it were.
Yeah. Oh, it's an extra stealthy and it's enchanted, we know. Well, we can pocket that for now, but that might be a good thing for one of us to have on. John, this is a very really pushing it question, but whatever. We have a terracotta tomb seal, lapis and silver. Looks to be looted from or at least is affiliated with Arden's name, the giver of life.
Thoth,
rather, sorry. Are there, and I'm only thinking about this because of the frozen reaches of Clementia's respite. Are there any signs of like incredible temperature, either cold or hot, or weathering, specific types of weathering on the seal that might indicate us an environment? Like if it were near lava, is it singed in any way, or does it look like there's some, you know what I mean? I mean, that's like a really strange question, but I'm trying to like pinpoint maybe
if there's a place where it came from,
or if it was like really moist where it was, might mildew or sort of like something like that corrode it in a specific way. I know it's a bit of a reach, but I'm a smart necromancer, right? So I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe that would give us a sense of like broad or fungus, right? Like, does it look like the fungal caverns? I don't know.
Spores. You got to check for spores.
Let's see.
Please refrain from using the word moist, please.
Is it turgid? Is it
yeah.
Turgid.
No, unfortunately, there's no indication of like what sort of environment it was in.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm reaching a bit, but
I wonder though. I like where your head's at, David, because it sounds like you're wondering if we could use it to reseal a tomb that was causing trouble.
Yes,
kind of anything. Not actually magic.
No.
So my guess is that it's just a mundane tomb seal that they cut the rope on because it was fancy and it's.
I missed a thing. There is also a small book that is lying on the floor here. It's very odd because it's not like any other books that you've seen, which have usually been these like tomes or folios. This actually appears to be a children's book, but bound during like ancient Arcantian times. It's like a small little book. If you look at the title, it says "Witches and the Forsaken Paths They Tread."
Oh, I gotta look at that.
Obviously heresy, David. It should be burned.
The title is in Mithric.
Well, I will go take a look at that.
You open it up.
Make sure you go to the 8th page and look at that.
Every page, look carefully.
I'll close one eye while I'm reading it. You know what I mean? Actually, you know what? No, you know what? I'm not even joking, John.
Yeah.
Before I open this book, I would like to ask who's carrying the sack right now.
Well, Warfare's got it, and we've just right now both of his hands are full with this thing.
I'd like to grab some salt from the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'd like
sure he has some right here. Yeah.
I'd like to do a salt circle around the book on the ground before I open it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Upior does something weird and then opens up the book, but it's like par for the course. You carefully open the book and nothing magical happens. But when you sort of parse through, read through what the book says, it's kind of interesting. So, it is written in like a sing-songy for children sort of style, very basic, and it's a tale of witches and their heathen practices. mostly exaggerated to scare children into obeying their elders. So it very much has like a Grimm's fairy tale sort of vibe to it. Do you know what I mean? But it's like dark, but made for kids at the same time.
Yeah.
But one section in particular makes you kind of perk up your, not your ears, just makes your eyes kind of go wide. It describes how they brew, this is witches, how they brew various concoctions, one of which is called a phylactery, which protects their soul from harm. As long as the phylactery, always well hidden, is intact, a witch can never be destroyed. And there's an illustration of a phylactery that is next to that passage, and that illustration looks very, very similar to a vial that you picked up in Deino's chamber.
Oh crap! The red liquid I'm carrying Deino's soul.
Yeah, and then
Sweet.
lastly, in a section describing witches of lore, like from folktale and legend, one of them is described as the beguiling queen that haunts the halls of Arden Vul, seducing men and turning them into animal companions.
There you have it.
Well, that's great. Is there a page in there showing a witch sort of floating around like a balloon on a chain?
No, but
That's in the warlock
Mortis,
chapter.
it's the strangest thing, Mortis. I don't know why, but you see here, and because he can't read Mythic, I'm going to point at like sections, perhaps John, that have children illustrated. It says here, Mortis, and it says here, Wolford, and here it says, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna just because this is right up Upior's, he wants to keep the mystery alive. I'm gonna list every single one of my compatriots' name at a different place in this book and be like, I better take care of this just in case. I'm gonna close the book. I'm gonna put it on my inventory.
Your very souls are in peril.
Wow.
Cool. All right, so there's some information for you.
When are we going to do shots of Deino's soul?
Oh my God.
Just go out here and drink it to
So
fight.
here's the thing. I think this is definitely a detox convo, but destruction might not be as good as leverage in this case. So
Yeah.
All that
think about
remains is a large oak chest that is palpably pulsing out waves of evil that even the uninitiated can feel.
Great. Let's leave that fucker.
No. Excuse me.
Yeah, because
Well,
you don't. If there's a chest you don't want somebody to open, you make it feel like that very obviously. Right?
There's a lot of things that are intriguing about this, but yes, she could literally be like sleeping in there. But I think we should figure out what we want to do with the urn so it doesn't get exploded if we do anything in here on wise. So
well, if it goes in the sack, it's an extra dimensional space. So it should be safe.
That it's safe in there. Okay.
How much can this back hold?
50 slots.
Yeah.
50 slots, so 5,000 coins.
So I think we should
Doesn't
do
even
that.
begin.
So do you want to put
do that?
So
But
if we
I'd
just
like to
take
put
string up,
Moral's ashes into it before putting it into the sack.
Can we get the coffer out first and get some protection from evil going here before something bad happens?
Do you want to go out into the bedroom with the urn and do that, and then we can come back and deal with the evil chest? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So
Let's go out into the bed.
You bring out Yakin's bones, then right, the coffer, protection from evil around 10 feet, and then you're just going to.
Yeah, Elizabeth has it. Yeah.
You're going to pull out the ash. I don't remember where the ashes were stowed originally.
They're gone. Yeah, they're a little pouch with ashes in them that seemed arbitrary, but I took them just in case.
Okay. All right, and then
So
you empty
we
them.
got him way back in the room in his study. So I'm gonna grab that over by the bed. I'm gonna as gently as I can remove the lid of the urn. I'm gonna look inside. It's empty.
Yep.
And I'm gonna gently pour his ashes into the urn.
you don't need to pour it even. Just put the whole sack in.
Well, I mean, it's like a barrier. Don't you want the?
Yeah, you gotta go raw, man.
You gotta go raw. You gotta listen, baby.
Free ball.
Listen.
You're going this far. You gotta go all the way.
I don't believe in two-factor authentication. We'll put it that way. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Upior raw dogs the urn.
You totally jumped the shark at this point.
What a session! I'm back, baby. Okay, so I'm pouring it in.
Okay, so when
gently though, I'm being not reckless about it. Yeah.
Right, yeah, you're being more respectful, right? So you carefully pour the ashes into the urn. when the last of them goes in and you put the lid on top of the urn, right before the urn closes, you just hear a small little male snicker sort of escape from the urn as you kind of close it. And that's it.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Now
Like a
shake it up.
like a and then it closes.
So either I did a very good thing or a very bad thing. What I would like
Yeah.
to also do is take a little bit of twine just to secure the top and like do a couple like notches so it's Christmas present, I suppose. right?
Gotcha. Sure. Yeah.
Birthday
Instead
present.
of twine, use
Uh,
get a lump of wax from the
Sure, we could from the
Or
sack,
some
I
clay
can
or
melt it
something.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
something.
steal
Yeah,
it.
let's melt some wax just to seal it so it's just nice
Okay.
and airtight, etc. Put it in the sack for
Put it
now.
in the sack. Okay, got it. Cool. How much?
And
How
then-
many
Oh,
coins are
sorry,
going?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Did anything change about the illustration?
No, good question, but no.
Okay,
Okay.
put it back.
If that takes up one slot, we can still put 4,900 gold coins into the sack.
Okay, and that fills up the sack. Sack can take no more.
If it's 50 slots, yeah.
Anyway, okay, so 49. So 4,900 GP is what I'm running down for what you're taking out of this loot, correct?
Well, we can carry the other stuff, and this is the big question. We're definitely taking gold coin, no question there.
And the platinum pieces.
Those are already carried. That's for earlier.
Yeah. Oh, we got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's not the issue. The question is, like, we could pick up all this stuff between the bunch of us and get it all back to the stash, if that's what we want to do. What's the next thing we're planning to do? There are still rooms of the Beastman compound we haven't explored. A couple of doors coming off the common room, a corridor south out of the training hall, etc. Plus, there's the fungal caverns, but I don't know that we had definitively decided what we wanted to do. Going back to the debouchement with our arms loaded and kind of walking slow to stash a bunch of things is not a bad plan.
No, I think we should definitely drop everything off.
You want to go stash before we deal with this evil chest as well? Let's do that.
Okay, that's the other thing is, do you actually want to open up the evil chest?
Yeah, I would like to.
I think we can probably trust that it is in fact evil, and we do not want to open it.
Well, but we know there are several objects within it, and we don't know if the evil is radiating from an object within the chest or the chest itself.
No, you can determine that the chest is not radiating.
Yes.
It's something inside the
Stuff
chest.
inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is anything on the chest like glyphs or runes or sealed
Nope.
with wax?
Nope,
to the earlier point?
it's a mundane oak chest. Looks exactly the same as the other two.
Does it look? Can we move it on the floor? Or is it fixed to the floor?
No, it's not affixed. It's just big and heavy.
So we could also carry this chest to another location if we want to open it in a different location.
True. John, does there appear to be more evil coming from within inside the chest or from within inside Upior?
Tough to say.
You can't say because I'm wearing the circuit.
I will say, if I have to have the alignment discussion one more time in this
I'm so
campaign,
done with that.
I'm going to drop kick everyone out of you.
Listen, I am so done with it, and I put my biggest heart into those philosophical
Yeah.
conversations.
So,
we don't have them anymore.
I'll let you guys decide what you want to
Yeah.
do immediately. So I'm hearing that investigate the chest and or move everything back to the stash before you go to the fungal caverns, and hopefully from there to find the secret Beastman exit. But discuss that while we take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. So you guys have decided to do what with the chests of money?
Well, the objects that we've just found in this Deino's secret treasure vault, we're going to take back to the stash.
Mhm.
And since we're going back to the debouchement, we'll take the 2 chests that are just full of coin, and we'll just carry the chests between the 8 of us or whatever it is.
Yes, you have the manpower.
we go slow,
It will
it's fine.
take like 2 or 3 people for each chest because
Fine.
they're big and they're heavy. But yeah, you could move slowly and out, and you're moving through known territory.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
We'll probably have to strew handfuls of copper out for the goblins,
So that is a thing. So if you are going to be, so you're lugging, sizable pieces of valuable stuff like the triptych, those are like very obvious sort of things. And the chests, of course. And just remember what I said before, that the goblins are starting to pick up on, like, you move shit into that weird pyramid room that they're kind of afraid to go into. but they're starting to cotton on to the fact that, like, you've got something going on in there. Now that you're cool with the goblins, but they're goblins.
Yeah. maybe guys, what we do, why don't we do this? Let's just bring this stuff out of the secret room into the bedroom. We'll let Upior will play with the evil chest. And then when we come back, let's not let them see us drag this into our pyramid. Let's take this stuff to the teleportation circle and bring it back to our resting place in Goblin Town, right? That way we're kind of like
circle to our resting place. Everyone's going to see it.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, though, guys. We're about to probably turn this entire complex over to the goblins, right? Is there a place in this complex, i.e. Mother's Boudoir, which we should just make ours? And then we keep that secret door and we just put all of our shit right back in Mom's secret closet,
It's not a bad idea, but I don't see why we wouldn't maintain the pyramid as the method of transit as that epicenter if we're turning everything else over to them anyway. In other words, if they're watching us go back and forth from anywhere, we might as well be doing it from the pyramid, because anytime we come via pyramid, they don't have to see us. It's only when we come mundanely. Right. And in fact, if we want to, not that we should do that right now, but if we ever want to like get stuff to the pyramid without them knowing, we should go through Plunger Town now and come up. Yeah. And then they don't even see us drop stuff in the pyramid. We just have to take the long route through Plunger Town.
If we want to, maybe one other thing we could do, right, is we have the carpet that's still in Gosterwick. I'm not saying to stash things in Gosterwick permanently, but we could move that shit to Gosterwick now, then go back to our secret stash with nothing, right? Lay out the carpet inside the stash, retrieve all of our shit from Gosterwick and put it inside the pyramid. Mm-hmm. They'll never actually see us moving treasure into the pyramid room.
Yeah, but we'd have to run to taking all that treasure to Gosterwick by foot.
Oh no, because there's still a carpet there.
Yeah, you have a carpet there.
So we can go to the stash, get the carpet, bring it here.
We're still putting it in the stash here, David. We're just hiding it temporarily in Gosterwick, then unfolding the carpet inside the stash, then moving it into our stash.
Okay, I understand, but here's what I'm saying. We have all the stash, all this stuff here. To get it to Gosterwick requires either that we go to the pyramid room where the carpet is to go to Gosterwick, which means they see us with all this stuff, or hoof it through the fungal caves through Gosterwick. So we can't actually get it to Gosterwick. What we could do is leave it all here in this room. No, the carpet is in Gosterwick and in the stash. Okay. Now we could go get that and bring the carpet here and leave it in the secret mother room if you wanted to do that.
The thing about leaving it in the secret mother room is this is not a safe haven. It does not count as getting the treasure back.
I don't think we should get too crazy with this right now. I think what we can do is take everything we have right now back. We know they're paying attention, and Wolford can make a big show of something, get everyone drunk, and have them look the other way while we bring it. If we're really that concerned, we can make a big show and just distract them.
They will pay attention to you, so like you could easily distract them and have them just look the other way.
Like it takes.
Yeah. How about this? We take all the gold out of the chest that has the copper in it, right? And when we get back to the debouchement, we set the chest down with the copper.
Yes.
And while I'm throwing copper to goblins,
yes,
everyone else goes and hides everything else. And the goblins are like, "Yay, copper!"
That's not only great. Yeah, that's not only great. It also gives them a sense of like, oh, sometimes they bring stuff back. It's for us, which is a good. It's a good impression to leave. Is there anything else like silly we should throw in there just as extra? Like some mundane armor we want to throw in there, the platinum helmet, or something like that, just like it's more than coin, or is that too much? You think?
No, let's keep the cool stuff. They'll be happy with the pennies.
No, but we could gift the platinum helmet to Killick.
That's what we should do.
The helmet is it's not magical, but it does function as a helmet. So it is still pretty useful, and it's dope looking. Like
it's very dope. Looking. I'm not saying we should,
and everyone's got to have a good headpiece, is all I'm saying.
I love
guy, the pencil neck guy or whatever his name is.
We trade it for the platinum rod. We need to trade the helmet for the platinum rod.
Oh,
that's dope.
I like that. Okay.
Okay.
It's much more distinguished than a weird rod.
But that's a different mission, though. But write it down.
Okay. That's later.
For now. Okay, John. For now, they're going to move everything into Mother's Boudoir. I'm going to mess with the weird chest, and then we're going to take it all back.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Okay.
so
We're going to be
take it
huddled
over.
around Yakin's bones.
all right, you
Yeah.
pull everything out into mother's chamber. So what do you do with the third chest?
I need Yakin's bones with me at the chest, Mike.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you just need to be within 10 feet of that. So Elizabeth will hold that around the corner, the door open, so you're still within the radius when you open it, but she's around the corner. She's not in
I
the...
only just cast protection from evil 10 foot off the scroll.
You can.
Just to be safe.
It just
then-
uses
then
up
Elizabeth
the
doesn't
scroll.
have
The
to be
Yakin's
in
Bones
range.
does the same thing.
Okay, burn the
Just
scroll.
do something.
Yeah, I just don't want to be within 10 feet of him when he gets eaten by the thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like the scroll idea because then Elizabeth doesn't have to be close. So
Okay, so Brother
Baron
Lothar.
will cast the scroll
Okay, Baron Wall casts protection from evil.
on David,
Got it.
on Upior,
Yep.
and
got
then
it.
we all back the hell up and let Upior do what madness he might.
I understand. Okay,
Good luck. You got this.
Upior, you are now protected from evil.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this even more gonzo.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna just let me get through it. Just let me get through it. I want to tie a rope around my waist. Someone should hold it, and in case you need
It's
to pull
already
me out
there.
like a
We
balloon.
did it before.
Okay. All right.
Wolfert's got it. Okay.
I'm gonna be above the chest. Okay. When I open it, so I want to be above it, not in front of it. Okay.
So the
Hovering.
flame strike column really hits you effectively then.
there exactly. And then I'm going to try to lift it from hovering above. Does that make sense?
I understand. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
That's
you're
what I will do.
hovering above. It's a very odd scene, but you carefully open it up. And nothing bad happens to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but
What
impalpable
object?
evil is still radiating out from there. But you can see that there is a number of different items within the chest. The first thing is that there is a nicely folded bolt of fine damask silk. Okay, that is worth 450 gold. It's very heavy. It's worth it's two slots, but it's worth 450 gold. Beautiful silk. There are let's see, what does he look like? A pair of heavy leather gauntlets that the leather itself has been dyed a fiery red. Okay.
Are they enchanted?
Magic, Mr.
They are enchanted. And there are 4 potions in here. 2 of them are you can obviously right away determine are potions of healing. And then there are 2 that you're not quite sure what they are. I don't have descriptions for them, but they just look a little bit, all of them are enchanted. And then lastly, there is the item that is palpably emanating evil. Okay. And that is a silver brass head that is
Give me the idol.
carved very realistically to look like a handsome but normal looking mundane human. A human head. And it's like
evil.
waves of evil are radiating off of it. Yeah.
Okay. So it is the size of a regular head?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do I see, without touching it, any sort of fixtures as if it would be attached to a statue, a bust, set into a relief, a bas relief? In other words, is it part of a whole that I can tell from any sort of sculptural features?
I understand what you
Top,
mean. No,
bottom, left, right.
no, it does not look like it was removed from a statue. Looks
Has it got
it-
like the little bass, like when you put Beethoven on your piano kind
Is it a
of thing?
bust or is it just a head?
it's just a
good
head. Just a head.
Okay.
Just a head. Okay.
So it's like
Does it look like that?
the neck has been sort of like it's at a sort of a slight angle. You know what I mean? But it's clean. It doesn't look like it was like a what do you call it? Like a real head that was petrified.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
If I look at the neck, the ears, the eyes, the noses, does it appear as though it might be hollow, or is it fully solid?
It's fully
in my
solid.
in my immediate observation.
It appears to be
Hollow.
solid. Mhm.
Okay.
Does it look like maybe a real head was entombed inside of it?
And no, it's the exact
reliquary.
size of a real human head.
Now, in terms of the fidelity of detail, sorry, I'm going all over the place. Matt, you go first.
I was just going to ask, he has seen all of these different faces. There's several different faces. We have Priscus Pulcher, all of the different faces that were in that blue pillar room.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of any other significant ones. Even Marius Kotor, we saw Tricotor, we saw his statue.
We've even seen illustrations that might have the same hair features. So, like, what's the hair on this head? Yeah.
Yeah, none of the.
Keep going, Matt. Yeah.
It doesn't look like any of the people that you've seen depicted before.
Okay.
And you haven't touched it yet, right?
I've not touched it. I'm just looking at it.
When you say silver and brass, you mean like brass hair and silver skin, or the way
If
around?
I said brass,
or...
I misspoke. It's actually silver. The whole thing is silver.
Oh, okay.
Silverhead. Okay.
John, if I'm looking at this, does it look, in terms of the fidelity of detail, the craftsmanship, does it look like a stylized head? Does it look like a highly skilled sculpture, but not necessarily a realist head? Or does it look like a mold of someone's face? You know what I mean? Is it like a death mask mold, or is it like a Roman head bust? You know what I mean?
It doesn't look like unnaturally realistic. It just looks like a very, very skilled artisan carved as best they could a realistic human head out of silver.
Okay.
You know?
Do I see any? I guess I have to touch it probably to rotate it, so this might become an issue there. But we might see like an artisan's brand or mark or signature or anything like that on it.
Not that you can see from where you are, and it's basically resting like face upwards in the we'll say it's like actually like on the bolt of silk. So it's just its face is sort of looking up at you because you're floating up above.
Okay,
right? Yeah.
This is good to know. If it is on the bolt of silk, is it possible for me to carry it upon the bolt, or is the bolt wrapped tight?
No, it's like just a folded rectangular bolt. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Can I pick up the bolt with the head on it?
You sure
without
can.
touching the head?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do so. I'm going to ask them to pull the weather balloon into the other room.
Okay, Wolf reels them in.
Yep.
And go ahead. Sorry.
So you leave the protection. Nothing seems to happen. It's fairly obvious at this point that the thing is the evil thing. The chest no longer radiates evil. You know. Like the other items I'm saying in the chest are totally kosher. Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of is, remember that statue or that room with the big pillar or something that was radiating evil? Mm-hmm. Also on the debouchement, it's like across the chasm. I wonder. You know what I mean? You remember that one? I wonder.
Who might know about this would be Kerbal Khan.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but I don't know if I want to show it to him. Should I just touch it? Here's my instinct about it, which could be totally wrong, guys. I don't think it's evil in the sense that I'm going to touch it and it's going to explode. I think it's evil in the sense that were I not wearing this circlet, I would know that it was radiated evil and affiliated with something else inside evil, right? Like, I think we would carry it around like a mundane thing. I could be wrong.
I think you're wrong. I don't think you're
terribly wrong. You don't think I should touch it?
John said that even the uninitiated can feel the evil coming off of it through a chest.
I just want to remind you of the ending of Time Bandits. Mom, Dad, don't touch it. It's evil. And then they touch it and they explode.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I want to like create a way to port it without touching it, right? So, or rotate it. We could get a net.
Make a sack out of that silk it's sitting on.
Why don't you run back and get gangrene?
Okay,
Ted's
so what
idea
I'm
would
thinking,
work.
What's that? Sorry.
Ted's idea would work.
Just cut some silk.
Make a
we
sack?
make a sack.
You
But
know,
I like putting a Medusa head in a sack so you don't have to look at it.
Which I like. Do you think I would be safe holding it with just the silk betwixt myself and the statue?
Yeah.
Or do you think I have to have it dangling and not nowhere near my skin?
I think you don't want to touch the silver, but you could touch the silk.
You'll be fine. Put it in a little sit.
I'm not trying to belabor this, but like, we need to rotate it to see if there are any marks. Let's say to do that, we need to be able to see if silk would work. Leather gloves would work because I'm not contacting it. My skin's not touching it.
It's true. There's actually leather gloves in that chest.
The enchanted gloves I just had. So I could put those on and try to touch it.
I wonder if those are there for handling the head.
But I mentioned they might be. And I mentioned that that's actually probably very likely. I mentioned that for John to hear as well, because if the logic is so long as your skin isn't touching, it's not a problem, then a bolt of silk, ropes, whatever, all work. Therefore, gloves should work, I would think. If that doesn't make sense, if we don't think gloves should work, then the other things shouldn't. Is my
Put on the cursed gloves and then pick up the cursed head.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be a bad idea. I'll put on the gloves. The pair of heavy leather gauntlets.
The gloves of hand amputation.
So they're bright red, right? Like fiery red. But you don't feel anything when you put them on.
But are they magical? He'd be able to tell that right out the
they're
gate.
magical.
Inscriptions? Do I see any inscriptions on them?
No, unfortunately not. Sorry.
Okay. Do y'all want to go back like 40 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's close the door, maybe.
I'm going to do it. Everyone go into another room. Am I going to get possessed?
Go to another room and hang the tomb seal on the room door.
Do you pick up the do you pick up the head with the glove with the gauntlets on?
I pick it up with the gauntlets on. Yes.
Okay, nothing happens when you do so.
Okay. I'm going to rotate it around and look closer.
Okay, so it kind of fits with what you expect. It's well carved all the way around. The base of the neck is just sort of like a plane. You know what I mean? Like this.
But you can't put your hand in and make him talk.
No stamps, seals, signatures, something
no,
that a sculptor marks.
No marks other than
anonymous.
Yeah, exactly,
little tiny catches for open up a secret compartment on it, anything like that.
Well, and I have that circlet on, so do I see anything like that? That's a good question. Yeah.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Like a catch, something that might open it.
Oh no.
Like a tiny catch, or like I'll kind of like pull the ear a little bit, or I mean, you might as well try, right? Nothing.
Lines on his mouth, so he talks like a ventriloquist dummy.
The only difference I would say is just like having it in your possession seems to, just increase the repulsion. You know what I mean? Like it's just a foul thing in your hands. Yeah.
Okay, I think we should put it in a sack and not look at it right now. And I'll carry it if we don't want to. If we're worried about it putting it in Laryl's sack for any reason, I can carry it.
Why don't we'll just put it back in the chest? We're gonna lug all these chests back anyway. Let's keep it in the chest.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Right?
So you place it back. Do you keep the gauntlets on?
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. Why not? For now, yeah. I mean, I don't want to have all our magic items. I'm not trying to hoard these guys, but yeah, sure, I'll keep them on for now.
Okay, so all of the stuff that was in Deino's vault, okay, is page 210. So you should be noting that for all of those items.
If we take 5,000 gold out and put it in Laryl's sack, could we get all the other stuff into these chests? Could we just fill up the chests and not actually have anything open and exposed?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Okay, so transfer the gold, fill the chests up with all the stuff we found. We just carry 3 chests back to the debouchement.
Okay, but you are taking the chest, like all the silver and copper too, right? Yeah.
The copper, we're going to
everything.
throw away.
Everything, yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So this is what I'm going to say. You, we'll just cut to the chase. You're not going to experience any resistance on all the way back. You're going to throw copper the moment that you're in goblin territory to distract them to get back to the stash. Is your goal to, after you dump everything off, to come back here so that you can go to the fungal caverns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to rest tonight, guys? I think we should rest.
No, we're fine.
I do have a wounded beast man.
If we're gonna rest, I'm gonna scribe a scroll too while we're at it, but that's up to y'all.
I kind of feel like, Matt, we're not on a timer, man. There's no reason to rush it. We should probably rest. We should get our spells back. We should write spells and scrolls or whatever.
Didn't somebody have it's a locate object. If we've got Deino's phylactery, could we locate Deino?
She's not an object, Ted.
No, I know. That's why the problem. But did we have any other way to scry or anything like that?
How about on the Ion Stone that we think she has?
But you can scry.
Which wasn't even why I did that, but that's so smart. Oh my god, we could track the Ion Stone I gave her because we know it isn't in her stash now. Why?
Hold on. I just need to know, like, what's the sequence of events here? So you're going back to the stash, but you're not returning? You're going to rest in the debouche?
We're going to rest one night, I think, in the debouchement. And
very clear.
Okay, so it takes
taking the circlet off before we do that, to be very clear. Okay.
All right, so that goes off without a plan. I would say that it would take an hour to get back there, but if you're going to rest, it doesn't really matter anyways. It's only noon by the time you get back to the debouchement. Okay.
Do we want to go back to just Goblin Town? There's a circle. Circle right here. We can just go back.
You could.
We can tell them. We can make up whatever bullshit story that we want. That we think it's maybe clear, but we want to go back tomorrow and check.
Yeah.
Right.
We can go and tell the king now that we think we've cleared out the level, but tomorrow we're going to push the perimeters and just make sure there's nothing evil hiding in the corners.
Let's wait. I would say let's wait on that just because we have like 3 rooms that Ted mentioned we haven't actually looked at yet. And there's no pressure. There's no pressure for us to tell him yet. I do think telling him is a good idea, but maybe that's not right now. Let's actually look at the other ones.
For the
Yeah,
sake
just
of
tell them they're
gameplay
still.
tonight,
Yeah.
let's just say we rest and we go back in the morning. We'll hit the fungal caverns.
And we rest in the debouchement tonight, and let's go to the fungal caverns.
Okay, cool.
I think that's what we should
All right, so you have a long day of rest. Like you have like a whole afternoon. You rest through the night, so you're able to really. The goblins are ecstatic because you just come out of the dungeon and you're just like, here's some fucking money, you know, like a lot of money. Like they're super psyched. You guys might turn your nose up at copper pieces, Mike, but a copper piece is like a day's wages for your average peasant, right? So
Yes.
it's a ton of money.
We've just destroyed their economy, no doubt.
Yeah. I have one. How many hours would I have to potentially scribe scrolls, John? Because I have at least one I want to scribe.
Well,
just lift them off
you
real quick.
have well, you need 8 hours of rest. So you would have 12 hours.
Holy cow! Well, I don't want to burden us with this right now on camera. I have one I know I want to do. Can I give you the other 11 off camera?
Sure, yeah.
And just not worry about it right now. Okay, I want to do stone shape for sure right now, so I have that memorized.
You have the capability to
cast it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question. Sorry.
I think that's a pretty high level spell, unfortunately.
That's
I have a
true. That
question,
might
too.
actually be outside. That's a good question. Actually,
You have to have the spell memorized in order to describe it into a scroll, correct?
I'm scribing. Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
Or
No,
you
no.
can scribe it from a spell book, can't you?
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
for me, for a cleric. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah, yeah.
trying to get involved in David at all. I have 2 spells left for the day. I have silence and I have hold person. Can I convert those into scrolls and then rest and then rememorize spells in the morning?
You, as a cleric, you don't need to have it memorized. You can scribe anything you want that you're capable of casting. In addition, stone shape is also not a magic
Third
user
level.
spell.
It's third level Osric, right? I just looked it up. Hold on.
Oh, was that a thing that we were an Osric thing? Okay.
Let me make sure. I thought, yeah, magic user, stone shape, magic user 3, and I have 1 third level slot,
Okay.
which means I could memorize it after scribing it. And I have a scroll of it, not
okay.
from one of the books, so
Cool.
I'm burning the scroll.
Okay. So you have to. Okay. Do we have
That makes
rules for
sense.
doing scrolls? I can't even remember now.
I assume we were treating them like tomes because I've done that before already.
I
You
need
take
the cost
the
though.
scroll, you turn it, you put it into your book, and the scroll burns. But now you
The
have
scroll burns, yeah, so it does consume the scroll.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
That's the
taking
rule.
you're taking from a scroll to your book. You're not making a
A
scroll.
scroll to my book.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay, yeah, I have that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry if I didn't make that clear.
Yeah, so that takes 3 hours. You can certainly do that. Yeah.
And in fact, I'll do one other just because I think we might want it, which is rope trick, assuming that is also within my level. But let me check real quick, just because I feel like that's something we might like. That is also third level, so I will add rope trick, and then that is going to be from one of the books, not from a spell scroll. And that's it for now. I don't want to hold us up. I just think it'd be nice to have some tools.
Cool. Sounds good.
And then, John, I'm just trying to turn my silence and my hold person into scrolls and then rememorize new spells for the new day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. All of you guys can change out spells if you want to.
I think while they're doing that, Mort will just continue the charade of distracting goblins with gangrene. The 2 of them will hand out coins and dispense advice and request more beer and that sort of thing, and just
Sure.
get the party going in the debouchement.
Sure. Okay.
Goodwill towards goblin.
All right. So you rest in the night, so everyone gains a hit point.
Okay.
Yeah, and so who's still hurt? Because Lisbeth can cast. She's got 2 casting of Cure Serious Wounds. Wolford's down
Bario's
5.
still at 8 hit points.
Okay, so yeah, she'll give him 1 casting of that. That is what I say, 2d6 plus 2. I'll roll it. Ooh, she rolled 2 6s, so that's 14 points for
right.
Barrios.
Bario's is
And
healed up.
she'll heal Wolford as well. That's not as good, but it still maxes him out, so he's fine. She rolled a 6, so that's 8 total. So
Right on.
Wolford's back up to full.
Great.
So that was the 14th of Gelenio still, right, John?
15th.
15th, yeah. So, oh yeah, new day.
That was the 15th of Gelenius?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we rested before we came down.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay, so it's now
Yeah, welcome to the 16th.
16th of Gelenius.
All right, we were past the Ides. Okay, so the now you brought home a lot of treasure too. I am not going to take time out in session to determine like how much XP you actually got, but we'll kind of retrofit that XP. So like wherever you end up at the end of this session, you'll have that XP. You know, and if you raise level, we'll say it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more thing. I'm going to store, I have too much on me now. I'm going to store the spell components and the cherry box with inks and nibs that we got in Plunger Town from Garolith's Chambers, I believe. And I'll probably just store these magic red leather gloves right now, guys, instead of carrying them. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. We should get them identified at some point.
Yeah, but I'm gonna store them for now. So that's put up.
So switch them out in the quartermaster, so that's up to date.
Yeah. Cool.
Are you going to when you return? Which retainers are you bringing?
Well, I want to keep Barrios. We definitely need him for the fungal caverns. There's
That makes sense.
no harm in having a spare cleric around. Good old Baronwald.
Do we want to bring Elizabeth?
Yeah,
She's
got
pretty
Jack and
pretty
Poe.
handy.
I think Elizabeth will be great for any hiding we need to do. Do
Let's do
we want Sam or should we leave her? We have a lot of muscle, I think.
Bring her. Well, you guys
We're gonna bring all of our. We can't bring all of them.
Seriously, like, can we leave some of them behind? They're little.
We don't need to bring them all.
They're XP sponges.
Yeah.
10 grand. You didn't want to hear it.
I'll be right back.
I think we should have 2 or 3 retainers at max. Personally, I think Elizabeth is crucial, so I would say one should absolutely be them. A second cleric makes sense to me, and muscle makes sense to me. But I don't think we need like 2-3 muscles, 2 clerics, a druid, et cetera, right? Do you all agree?
I mean, our goal in this next day is that we're going to go through the fungal cavern to try to find the cliff face, so that when we go to we're going to go to Gostrick next. We're going to take the rug to transfer to there, and then when we come back, we won't have to go through the surface where we're in danger to be eaten by dragons. We'll have a shortcut back to this level.
Okay, so all the more reason I think that, although hopefully the dragon won't be an issue if we don't hit the surface, traveling with a huge retinue if we're trying to be discreet and get back into the caves with the rug without being killed is a bad idea. So I actually think we should take as few retainers as possible, though that is obviously harder with the fungal caverns part. I think it's crucial with the outside part and like Gostrick part.
I think what we need to do is when we go to Gostrick to go retrieve our rug is we go fulfill our oath to the goblins by buying them a lot of armor and weapons.
Okay.
And we look like a caravan that's headed back up to the dungeon. And if we just look like a lumpy caravan carrying like trade goods that the dragon doesn't give a shit about anyway, we're probably going to have less problems.
We can also hire a bunch of mooks.
The only thing, Mike, I don't want to be going through the surface city at all.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
the advantage
entrance through the fungal caverns. We're going to go through the fungal caverns and look out. Yeah,
we're on the cliff face, and we'll see where it is.
Sure.
Okay. So the important thing now, though, is discretion important to us? And if it is, then we should not be taking a bunch of retainers, because the more attention we draw to ourselves, the more likely wyverns are going to be looking for all of those faces that look like the big 3d6 king. At which point, it should just be us in cloaks and hoods, and Lisbeth for obscuring mist, in my opinion. Yeah. And we should just roll light.
That's only if we actually want to leave the fungal caverns and go to Gostrick the same.
That's the whole plan, though.
Well, what I'm saying, our plan could be investigate the fungal caverns, find the exit,
and then come back, and we're going to take the rug to Gostrick and then walk the rug back.
Yeah,
all right. Let's roll a d6, and 1 to 3 is retainers. let's just move. I don't really care that much, so let's just do it. Yeah. Sure.
I mean,
Elizabeth is coming. Who else do we want to come? Anybody else?
Penalty thing.
The XP penalty bums me out, man. Especially
I'm leaving Sam.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so who's going?
Ernwald, Barrios, and Elizabeth.
Okay,
3
very good.
retainers.
Oh, okay.
3 retainer. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're never gonna level up, y'all.
Yeah.
Mike's right.
It's fine.
It's fine. We
Okay.
just got a bunch of
That's
treasure.
the
We're
high
good.
level guy. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So let's just go.
All right, let's go.
Okay, cool. So you guys head out back into the Beastman compound. Do you tell the goblins like the progress that you made so they can relay that to the king, or do you want to
Yes,
tell
I
them?
think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that we made
David, I
progress.
think we have to at least say that we've murdered a bunch of undead, and that we're going back tomorrow to make sure that the area is clear.
We don't know yet that it's safe, but we've made progress.
Yeah, we just tell them it's still very dangerous, but we're making progress.
Sure, if you want to.
Okay.
All I'm saying is it's been what 12 hours since we told them that it was too dangerous to go there. Why are we rushing to have them start?
We're not.
populating?
We're telling them that we made progress. We've murdered a bunch of undead. We're going to go back and
Don't come.
murder the rest
Still
tomorrow.
dangerous.
Down. Good. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. All right, so their bottleneck is pleased to hear that, and he starts to relay it down to Killick, who will relay it to the king, and that news will spread throughout the day. So great. Okay, so you head out with your slightly reduced troop back into the compound. Are you going? Let's see. Let's head to Miro here real quick for the audience. Are you going to this training hall? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So John, one of the things that we found that I think can inform this path. Remember the first time that we went through the officers' training room, there was a desk that was covered with like notes about the fungal caverns. Wolfherd's background is as a map maker, right? So he knows maps.
Okay.
And he can read them. And between the documents that we found on the desks in there and these maps that we now have, which would seem like because they're two, when we look at the new maps that we have, right? There are 2 ways down there. They are both accessed, yes, through that training hall, but one is farther to the east, which goes down, and then there's a path, and the other is like the cage that's farther to the west,
Which you have actually stepped in briefly a long time
right?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he would know by studying these things, as he can read maps fairly well, which seems to be like the one that's the most direct route to the cliff face.
So if you're looking at the remnants of, like, you're looking at you talk about the cliff face at the southern end of this map that you have.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean
So
the
the-
cliff face that's
Or
out
the-
to
or
the Gosterwick, don't you?
Yeah, which one do you mean?
Yeah. So
Because there's
so
a cliff
the
in the fungal caverns, Matt.
right. And there's a path that goes out there, and we've heard that the fungal path, there's a path that leads to a cave that leads to the outside.
Correct.
Right. And so he's looked at these maps, and he should be able to tell us, or he should be able to tell, is it the looking at the map, is it the one farther to the east that has the direct path out to that cave, or do we go through the cage that's farther to the west?
You can determine from your from this map specifically that it is impossible to gauge, because this map does not depict the full breadth of the fungal caverns, so you have no concept of where that cave is that exits from the fungal caverns, right? However, what you can see is that there is let's see, can you depict that? No, I don't think you can. You can probably see on this that it's very kind of faint, but there is a path that leads from both of those entrances to the caverns, right? The one that's on the east, though, is kind of moves alongside tracks westward along the northern side of that cliff. You see what I'm saying? And the one that's the cage kind of goes directly to that cliff. But that's all you can see. Like, there's no correlation to that cliff and like the exit out of Arden Vul. You know what I mean? There's no indication. You have no concept.
All right. So guys, do we want to go east and take the longer route, or do we want to go through that cage and go straight down the shorter one?
I say we go through the cage. We know
Okay.
it. We've seen it.
And that's
So-
fine. Has Barrios ever been down there? We ask him. Barrios, have you ever been through those fungal caverns yourself?
We haven't. Not my troop hasn't. That was usually the realm of the LRCP. Dangerous there.
All
They
right.
were highly specialized and trained to hunt for the cloud cap mushrooms from other. I
You're about
myself
to
have
be
been.
promoted.
I've been in the cage. We were often assigned to resupply the LRCP, but I don't know if those supplies are still going to be there.
Barrios, did the RCP, did they take any kind of precautions to protect themselves from like the fungus? Did they take any potions or
They told
apply any
stories that
salts?
some of the mushrooms were dangerous, yes, but what they would regale us with was the tales of the gigantic centipedes that would lurk around the cliff face. Apparently, there was a certain paste that they used that could mask their scent and allowed them to traverse the cliff face unharmed.
Would you recognize this paste if you found it?
I would. We used to supply it at the cage.
What was it made out of?
I don't know. Some sort of weird concoction that our witch doctors made.
Okay, we should look for that. Does it, if it's in containers, is it marked in any way?
He would be able to point it out to you, yeah.
Okay. Where would these supplies most likely be? They would be at the cage location, correct?
In the cage, yes.
All right. I think that's the way we go, guys. We don't want to fight giant centipedes.
So it is the
Okay.
end of the session. Do you plan to investigate? So you've got. Let me zoom in here. You know the route to the cage. You've been there, right?
Yes.
Is the plan to go directly in there, or are you going to explore the parts of the compound that you have not yet mapped out? You have a map that you can fill in that map. You just haven't entered
Right.
into those rooms.
Since it's the end of the session, we might as well do that, I think, because we're not going to get deep into the caves, right?
Okay,
I
so
mean,
No, I
I would
don't
say
think
just go
he's-
to the caves, but since we're
I don't think John is saying we're doing it now. I think he's saying next session.
well, what I can do
Section.
is I can, because it's not that interesting, I can just tell you. So Ted, on your own
Okay.
time, you can just fill in the rest of that map.
Okay.
That is south in the south, the southwestern branch of the training hall, right? Okay, so you've got your map that you can kind of fill in. So the first room that you would go into is an armory. All right, an armory and a forge, basically. So there's a chimney there that does go up into the ceiling. Anything of value has been destroyed. Okay, and then further west, there's another chamber there that you can see on the map, and that is another harem. Okay, so there's just the corpses,
Sheep harem or
just like a concubine harem, whatever. There's just there's
Right.
another harem. There's a lot of corpses there. Some of them are probably risen, but you take care of the undead, like I said before, without much of an issue.
okay.
Okay.
I don't suppose there was any goblin-sized magic armor in the armory.
No, like I said, there's nothing of value in there.
I have one question.
That's
I have
in
one
next
question.
to dwarf armor, buddy.
I have one question about the armory. There's a chimney that goes up. Does it go down?
It does not go down.
Okay, because of the plunger town. That's why I'm asking if it was two directional.
Now there's still
Okay.
you haven't looked at I don't know if you remember, but like way back in the day, you can you guys see my cursor right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you haven't investigated that room in particular, right? You don't know how that kind of connects, really. I mean, you have the map, and then if you scroll to the right, you haven't investigated any of these doors right here as well. Right?
What about the juncture between the command HQ and the hall? Is that the one you just told Ted about? No.
No. There's also that. Yeah, you haven't looked there either. So there are some areas that you still haven't explored, but I'm giving you what's in that southwest of the training hall there.
There's just the two rooms, just sort of immediately north of the fungal cavern there.
Yeah.
And I just want to point one more thing out. I would put the circlet on when we were looking at that, John. So if there are secret doors in either of those rooms,
yeah.
we ping them.
No, So those two rooms are pretty banal, but there is still some unexplored stuff. So
Sure.
In the interim, before next session, we don't have to decide now, or you can talk about it in the detox. the you have to determine if you want to really close that loop with the Beastman compound or just push into the fungal caverns. But that's a discussion for another time. Sound good?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So tons of treasure. Awesome job, guys. You got a lot done and learned a lot of new things once again. So cool. Good episode 90. Thank you, everyone, for watching and or listening. You have been watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. It would really help us out if you subscribe. We know that a vast majority of our watchers and our listeners don't subscribe, and it's really not that big of a deal if you just hit the button. You're not going to get spammed with a whole bunch of stuff. You're just going to get notified whenever we publish new stuff, and you like us already, right? So might as well. And if you have the wherewithal, please hook us up and join our Patreon. You'll get a couple of extra bennies. You'll be help support the stream, which would be amazing. And check out our publication, Feats of Exploration. And thank you as always to all of our patrons, our explorers, delvers, and conquerors, of which Mike has the honor of listing those today. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Number 1, Doc Jones 73, Snords, John Hooker, Kayla Ripley Wolf, Zachary Hall, Saps, Papa Bear, Zach Shiflett, Mercury 605, Ruben D. Collar, Dave Rosser Jr., Andrew, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Quisenberry, Brad and Aiden, the Logan family, Kabrowskis, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Jeff Tokach, G Tokyo Time, Nick, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, Ted Gast, Ted, amazing.
Hey,
James Doig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Mike, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabrielle, the Hex Brawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Gru, Tom Eric Garrettson, not Matt but not least, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you, everybody.
Right on, guys. Thank you, as always, for your continued support. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye now.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.